Board of Building and Zoning and Code Appeals of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Kanzler.
Here.
Mr. Brown.
Here.
Mr. Wilner. Here. Mr. Griffith. Mr. Jameson.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. We have sufficient numbers to go forward with the meeting. I would like a motion to waive the work session and go right to the regular meeting.
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Wilner.
Yes.
Mr. Kanzler.
Yes. And
Mr.
I'll
Jameson.
rise for the
Yes.
saying of the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag and our country. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have one item on the agenda tonight seeking a variance from a swimming pool requirement of the city. Before we get to that, is there anybody here who wishes to participate publicly in anything they want to say about the Board of Zoning Appeals or anything else that's on their mind? I don't see anybody raising their hand. So we'll proceed to Appeal 082021. Who is representing the applicant? Could you step forward to the microphone, raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, sir.
Thank you. Could you tell us what you're seeking here?
Yes, so we're seeking a variance. The pool is going to be at 9 feet 6 inches from a retention pond that sits behind the property. So it's going to be a little bit in from the, I think, the 10-foot setback that is required by the city.
The retention pond is downhill from the location of the proposed pool, is that right?
Correct.
Okay, about how far away from it is it?
I think it is 9 feet 6 inches.
Okay. Any questions?
I've seen
No.
the property.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve appeal number 08-2021 as presented.
Second?
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Wilner.
Yes.
Mr. Kanzler.
Yes?
And Mr. Jameson.
Yes. Your variance request is approved. You'll
Thank
get a
you.
notice as to what you have to do from here from the building department. Okay?
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
Have a motion to approve the minutes of September 22nd, 2021.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes of September 22nd, 2021.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Wilner.
Yes.
Mr. Kanzler.
Yes.
Mr. Jameson.
Yes.
Okay. Any communications directed toward the board?
None that we have tonight.
Okay. Motion, did we move to excuse absent members?
No, we did not.
Like a motion to excuse absent members from the meeting tonight?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Wilner.
Yes.
Mr. Kanzler.
Yes.
And Mr. Jameson.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else on anybody's mind about what we've been doing lately on the board? We've had some pretty simple cases and not very many so far.
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up on a conversation that we had at the last board meeting. It was expressed from the board that if possible, to give the building inspector some additional leeway to make it so that, you know, some of these cases that seem to be kind of open and shut, maybe he would have some additional leeway. I did have a conversation with the law director as well as the mayor, and they were both very open to that communication and to that conversation. In fact, Mr. Maestros told us that he had already begun drafting some changes that would be coming to council prior to the end of this calendar year. So I would imagine that, you know, those sorts of changes would probably be enacted, you know, shortly thereafter.
I think that is good news to hear, because I think what happens is people don't realize that if they have to apply for a variance, like this case or the case we had a month ago, that's $150 plus publication, plus time, plus in some instances, although it hasn't happened lately, where you have to hire an expert to explain what's involved. And it's kind of silly when you're talking about a 7-foot variance, or like last time, it was even smaller. And yet, here we are. We're going to get each of us will get a grand sum of $25 for being here tonight, which I will deposit into my account. I don't know.
Well,
what
it'd be
you're gonna do
22
with
after
yours,
taxes.
but,
Well, right now, it's probably worth about 10.
well, you just don't wait too long. You got to rush to the bank with
You're
it.
gonna explain to him, you're gonna do the 30-day?
Yeah, there is typically a 30-day waiting period during our next council meeting, which will be 2 weeks from yesterday. I will make a motion to waive that. So,
Okay, thank you.
yep, absolutely.
Do we have any other business before the board? Hearing none, I'd like a motion for adjournment.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second, somebody?
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Wilner?
Yes.
Mr. Kanzler?
Yes,
Mr. Jameson?
Yes.
yes. Meeting's adjourned.